Not sponsored. Right, so I wasn't really feeling that good today. Had a headache. Well, it was a small headache, and I just took mom's prescription headache pills. She said they work, and so far they're doing alright. My headache's getting a lot better within just the 5 minutes of taking them. Yeah. So I was standing here, I was looking outside, and even though I had a headache, that was one more thing that was bothering me. I'll tell mom later, but I think it's better if she watches the video or whatever. I was standing here, I was looking out there, and I was wondering about Halloween and all the kids that come to people's houses' doors, and I was thinking, it's not the same anymore. Like, Halloween back then was the one day of the year every kid around town would go to a neighborhood and get candy from houses and stuff. But now it's changing after COVID or whatever. It's just not the same anymore, you know? I was standing there by the door. Mom was checking in on me, see if anything else was on my mind other than having a headache. She kind of got the sense of it, but I said I'm fine. Well, I'm not. I just said that too because I didn't want to talk about it right in front of her right then and there. I didn't feel like it was the right time to say anything. I figured it would be better if I just recorded it all on the video to show her later or something like that when I'm showing her all the Halloween stuff. This is a nice neighborhood. The place I live at with my dad. The place where I live at with my dad, my true house. We live like 4 miles in the woods, so we never ever get trick-or-treaters out there. But every Halloween, I used to go out, when Mom still lived over there. Both my parents would take me out to some random neighborhood I don't know how to get to. And at nightfall, we would trick-or-treat around the neighborhood for hours. Not just 2 hours, like 6 to 8. We would trick-or-treat all the way to like 10 or something like that. But for some reason, it's now a law where you have to trick-or-treat within 2 hours. This holiday only comes around like every 365 days, every single year, every just 1 year. That's a long time for every Halloween. I feel like that it should be, like, Halloween should be done by justice, by, like, having the trick-or-treat time being extended by a lot. Maybe even have 2 days where people trick-or-treat, or 3, maybe have a whole week where kids trick-or-treat. Hell, maybe even make Halloween an official holiday for once by actually having it where school will be dismissed for like a week-long break to celebrate Halloween. That, if I were a president, that's what I would do. When I was a kid, I had a lot of imagination, and I still have a lot of that imagination I had from when I was a kid, because I never really tried to let go of my childhood. One of those major aspects of my childhood is Halloween, and trick-or-treating. The biggest treat to me on Halloween night, going around house to house, getting candy and stuff, wasn't the candy. I'd say that's a close second place. But the main number one thing, the main treat of trick-or-treating that got me was the aesthetic of it all. The vibes I got, the cool feeling of the weather, the falling of the leaves, the cool lights that would shine different colors outside people's houses, the dark but also colorful atmosphere. Halloween is a holiday that only comes around once a year, and the day itself is very short-lived. It doesn't last long enough. It hasn't been done justice, and there's a lot more restrictions being put on Halloween as of recent, of the last 10 years. And I wouldn't be surprised if like trick or treating would be limited to like 30 minutes in the next few years. It sucks because like I want to give kids that like feeling of like imagination and that feeling of nostalgia, ambience, just the vibes of Halloween, in your early childhood. But we got no trick or treaters. Well, maybe one, but we weren't here. But we had pretty much no trick or treaters come out to our house, and we set up this long, elaborate pathway that would start. Mom suggested that we should stay out there by the cul-de-sac where people grab the candy from. But okay, I see your point of efficiency there, but what I believe the true spirit of Halloween to be is if those kids would be determined enough to travel down this long walkway to our front door, right over there, just out of view. That I loved going on long, little walks down people's ridiculously long driveways, seeing the little luminaries on the side of the driveways to get to people's front door. It just felt more elaborate and more themed, more fleshed out, just felt like something I would really remember. It just feels like something that would be that one house, one thing on that one Halloween night I would always remember throughout childhood and into my adulthood. I want kids to have their childhood last, So it sucks that the attention span of kids is going so fucking low that they can't even, pay attention to one thing for, more than 6 seconds. Where did we go wrong? Where did they go wrong? Why is the law restricting specifically the holiday of Halloween more? Even though my main goal is to become a well-known storyteller, movie director of small low-budget movies for YouTube and stuff like that, I do have a plan B goal, a second goal, in the background while all that's happening one day. I'm gonna make Halloween an official holiday. I know what you're saying, it already is an official holiday, but no, I want to make it an official holiday. Just as important as Christmas special. I want Halloween to be just as important as Christmas or something like that, or Thanksgiving. Throughout my childhood, I always thought it was. I always thought it was equal to that, but in reality, it isn't. And because of my childhood self, and that Halloween should be seen, I always saw Halloween as an official holiday, but by the law, it isn't. Because if it was an official holiday, we would have, days off for it. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna someday try and change the law to make it so Halloween can be a free day. No, a free week. I want that to be the week that kids can fully immerse themselves into a massive pool of nostalgia. Well, a massive pool that will become nostalgic later on in life. And then they will be glad they had that in their childhood, because otherwise they'll be missing out. I don't give a fuck about efficiency. I want kids to feel the environment. I want them to go on long, long walks, long trails, literally and metaphorically, to get the most out of Halloween, rather than just being limited to 2 fucking hours of going house to house in the middle of daylight. Why can't we have it go all the way up to midnight? Hell, why can't even have Halloween happen on November 1st or 2nd, Like, we can't just shut down Halloween, like, the day after all the excitement happens. It has to be a slow, gradual decline into Thanksgiving, which would be the next holiday after Halloween. That would just be as equal to it. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that, or if that's even possible for me to do, but it is something I'm gonna try and advocate for in the future. But, yeah. Oh, this was a little side video, and well, consider this a part 3 of the last 2 videos. I thought it would end at the last video of the Halloween 2024, but this part 3 is just a continuation because this is only the second day of the 6-day long break I have for Halloween. And I think if I were to make a Halloween break, it would be the same structure I have now. So, like, the day of Halloween up until, like, 5 days after that later are off. And, like, those other 5 days are other days you can celebrate Halloween to the fullest by trick-or-treating at other houses. That's what I'm gonna do. But, yeah, I'll see you whatever the next thing is. I'm gonna be staying home today. Mom is going to Highway Pizza. I don't know about Bruce, but I'm staying here for a day. You won't see much happening today. Hell, the next part of the video might just be something I'll cut to tomorrow. So, yeah, I'll see you. I went to an elementary school where we did everything in there. We celebrated every holiday that happened. It made Halloween a much more bigger deal than it is when you get older. And I feel like Halloween should stay being as big of a deal as it is in your childhood, because then when you grow up, it has no meaning anymore. I want to figure out a way if there's any way I could like visit my old like elementary school again, to see if like maybe I could like participate in some of the events that the kids are doing or whatever. I doubt they'll just let some who now is a rando in the school, but I just miss going there. If you are a teacher who is watching this right now who's from that elementary school, there is no words that can describe the level of place attachment and nostalgia I have for the school's environment. Like, my imagination ran wild in there. The structural integrity of the school's building is awesome. The literal kind.